So my history came from stage lighting and architecture. I was from, I don't know, very young age, I just knew I was going to be an architect. That was, I played with Lego and building blocks, and that was what I wanted to be. And then in high school, I got very into lighting by working with the technical theater aspects in our drama department, and was doing lighting and scenery. And as college progressed, I sort of intentionally chose to not go to a school that was an architecture program. I looked at more liberal arts programs. I got to work more in the theater and found that somewhere along the way that there was this career called architectural lighting, and it was kind of this interesting hybrid that I didn't know a lot about. And I one summer asked an architect who happened to be a friend of the family if he knew about any firms that did this or anything about it, and he gave me some contacts, and I just started calling people to get an internship and wound up working in it, just assuming I was going to do a summer internship and then go back to school. And I did go back to school, but then I've been working at that same firm ever since, and that's 15 years later now. So there are a few ways. One are through some professional associations, both the IALD, which is the International Association of Lighting Designers, and the IES, which is the Illuminating Engineering Society, have some student chapters at various schools. They also have student membership, which can help you get to their conferences, which they each have an annual conference. And for instance, here in Washington, there are chapters here that do events almost on a monthly basis. There's at least one from one of those associations, which is a networking opportunity, and you meet people who are working in the profession, as well as other young professionals who have recently graduated and are participating now in their local chapters. So it's an interesting field in that there's both an art and a science to architectural lighting. The science is very much physics and illuminating engineering. So schools that are going to teach you the science of lighting, or courses that are about the technical aspects of light, optics and lumen outputs and reflectances and that. And then there's a sense of being a artist who knows how to work within 3 dimensions. So architecture courses, interiors courses that teach you the vocabulary that you're working with. For me, I was in high school. I took both an architecture drafting class, which my high school happened to offer. You know, I think it was Design Your Dream House at the time, and a few other things about learning the very fundamental basics of it. And I was worked in the drama department and took a technical theater class and a stagecraft class, and I started to learn both of those. When I moved into college, I was taking very heavily a lot of theater classes and took some architecture and interiors classes, and also a lot of fine art classes to kind of learn about juxtaposition and space and value, and ultimately it is a fine art, so it's learning how to bring all those skills together. My typical day is generally atypical. We work on a variety of projects. Currently in the office we have hotels in multiple cities and various scales, renovations to brand new construction. We have small churches, private residents, to massive government office buildings. And all of them are at various stages in their design process. So a typical day might be we're receiving a set of drawings and having a conference call with the rest of the design team, the architects and the interiors, to discuss lighting priorities and concepts and develop that. It may be that we're running photometric calculations of simulating how much light is we're going to achieve through our design. It may be a day such as today where I've been in 4 meetings with various everything from manufacturers representatives to architects, talking about either specific projects or product that a rep might be selling. But it boils down a lot to where most days we're sitting there working with plans and sections and details from architects and trying to figure out how to communicate where the lighting needs to be and what it needs to be. so that it makes it into the architectural specifications and the drawings, and ultimately into the construction. It's two parts. You go through some odd personality things as you grow as a professional, and you like go to this personality test and that one. And for me, I'm very much somebody who's engaged at the beginning, stimulated intellectually at the beginning of a process of conceiving up of the idea and working with, and that's really the collaboration, working with my fellow designers about how to craft a space. And then right at the very end, I love that moment when you first open the door and the first public are coming to see something you've worked on. And I came out of theater, so it's opening night, right? You draw back the curtain and hit the go button and the lights turn on and it's magical. And I think back last year we worked on it opened last year. We worked on it for about 5 years prior to that, a large convention center in Nashville. And I had the opportunity to be there for the grand opening and the ribbon cutting. There had been people wandering through the building the couple days before that, and they were running events. But after the ribbon cutting, they really, the owners of the building really did it right. They threw a big party for the public. It was wide open. And you see a building being used in ways that you spent 5 years talking to all of these design professionals, working with them, talking about how it was going to be used. You open the doors and there are people going into corners you never expected them to go and using it in ways that you never figured it would happen. And it's exciting to go through that and to show off what you've put a lot of hard work into, but to just see that energy come together that's really rewarding for me.